I'm sure there are rules governing when a coach is eligible to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame, but can't that be waived for Kelly Amani Hiller? Can't we just waive that for anybody who has won 7 NCAA championships? There shouldn't be any rules when you won 7 of anything nationally. I had to agitate you guys. That's what I do. And I just say hello to Chet Kopic, who was the first person to ever put me on the air any place at any time. I was 22 years old, working for the Washington Post, covering Georgetown. Chet, what the hell were you thinking at that point? Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Let me start by also thanking the Hall of Fame Committee for being so inclusive about its thinking about who should be considered important enough to honor in such an incredible way. Sports has become a multi-trillion-dollar industry worldwide. And without question, the men and women who play, coach, and administrate have earned being celebrated first and loudest. For someone who has been following athletics at Northwestern, as I have, for all my life, and it's a long time, it's more than 50 years now, it's a little overwhelming to be selected to join a group that includes Ron Burton and Mike Adamle, Billy McKinney and Chris Hinton, Hillary Bowen and Katrina Adams, Darnell Autry and Ara Parsegian. But I'm also proud to join others who did not tackle, dribble, or pitch, including Pat Ryan, Dave Ennett, and the godfather of Northwestern folks like Christine and me, the great Brent Musburger, who are all in this Hall of Fame. God knows I did not tackle, dribble, or pitch at Northwestern. I sort of did. I played intramural basketball at Patton and Bloomquist on a team called Soft and Wet, named after Prince's very first hit. When I was a sophomore in 1978, intramural games for me anyway were blocked off evenings. I'd limp back to the dorm, exhausted and sore, order a pizza, and rehash the game until midnight or so and call it a night. Kind of made a profession out of that, I guess, as it turns out. Brittany Wilbon, a member of Kelly's lacrosse teams in the aughts, is the only bona fide jock in the family. Anyway, I'm proud and thankful that a university with a school as famous as Medill, having produced so many sports journalists, sees fit to honor in this way some of the storytellers, like Brent. And if I dare put us in this category, Christine, my dear classmate and friend, and me. If I can speak to, for a second, my 9-year-old son Matthew for a moment. I know you value dribbling and shooting more than conjugating right now. But your father is living proof that that's not the only way to reach the Hall of Fame, Matthew. He's just saying, yeah, I don't know about that, Dad. And since I didn't always know that, I better thank my mother. She's gonna kill me for saying this again, who's here tonight at 91 years young, my mother Cleo. The career school teacher for making me understand that when all I wanted to do was dribble, tackle, or throw. The best decision I ever made was to marry my 2 interests, sports and storytelling. And there was no place better than to do that than here at Northwestern, where the art of storytelling was honed both in, for example, the news writing class taught by Dick Haney and the locker room where Coach Rich Falk, a member of this Hall of Fame as well, was gracious enough to sit many a day and accommodate the questions from an aspiring sports writer from the Daily Northwestern. It's the passion for storytelling and sport that allowed me to work first at the Washington Post for 30 years and now at ESPN, for the last 16, after graduating from Medill in 1980. And while I don't have teammates and coaches to thank per se, there are professors and advisors, Craig Klugman, wherever you are, and classmates, Christine, and dorm mates like Soup Campbell and Brian Gibson and friends Rod Robertson and Chris Hinton and Mike Jenkins, who are essential to the equation that need to be thanked. And of course, everybody at the Daily Northwestern who helped give the early dreams something of a shape and direction. And of course, my brother Don, class of 1983, who shared with me all the painful losses and more recently the triumphs, And okay, was a much better intramural basketball player, though it's taken me 40 years to admit it. My then fiance and now wife of 20 years, Cheryl, has always hated it when I've said the greatest weekend of my life had nothing to do with our wedding day, but that trip to Los Angeles for the Rose Bowl for New Year's Day 1996. And she now hates it that that has been replaced by the mid-March weekend last year in Salt Lake City for a little thing we like to call the NCAA basketball tournament game that Northwestern was in. Cheryl, I think with what Fitz and Chris Collins are doing, what Jim Phillips has orchestrated, there are a lot more of these mega events and lifetime highlights to come. Thank you to Jim Phillips, to everybody in athletics, to the coaches, including Joe McEwen and Kelly and Pat Goss. It's one of the great joys of my life, professional and personal, to wear purple and have a front row seat to watch people I respect and admire compete at the highest level of intercollegiate athletics, and now be thought of enough through my own pursuits and accomplishments to be included in such wonderful, wonderful company in our Hall of Fame. I am honored to be joined by the other honorees, inductees tonight, and this is something that I know the rest of us will brag about, and especially for Christine and myself, two classmates who sat behind a typewriter while people were practicing, and then later microphones. This is something we can laugh about in the ABC makeup room. Let's not talk about makeup. But this is a special night for all of us, for the school. Let's get a football win tomorrow. Go Cats.